Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Brickstop Live. I'm your host, Jason, and Jim is in the house co-hosting as usual.
What's going
Welcome,
on, guys?
welcome.
You all
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm all good, man. How are you?
Doing all right, doing all right. Jumping into a kind of a wacky little theme here.
Some tail end of classic castle, methinks.
Yeah, yeah. So real quick, I mean, Knight's Kingdom. Knight's Kingdom. When you hear Knight's Kingdom, we think jelly bean knights, colored, different colors of like purple and green and red, jumping all over these kind of very blocky, strange-looking castles with big action figures and things integrated into the theme.
Yeah.
But before all that, there was Knight's Kingdom, um, which is now referred to by a lot of people as Knight's Kingdom 1, and Knight's
Yeah.
Kingdom 2 came a few years later, and that's what we talk about when we get Vladok and all of those knights and things like that. What I want to say before we jump into everything is this, in my like estimation, does represent the end of classic Lego Castle. You know, you got the Ninja in there, the classic or the Castle Ninja sets as well. But like as far as like European, like the whole classic Euro Castle line, because I think that there's enough elements with bardings and chrome crowns and castles with blue roofs and things like that represented in this, regardless of kind of the style. You get Fright Nights and Knight's Kingdom 1. And then I say that because after that it goes completely differently. It's a drastic change in aesthetics and style, and it's all different. And we lose the classic feel of Lego Castle. So I look at it at the last theme in Lego Castle, especially at least the Lego Classic Castle, and then we get into the crazy stuff. But I wouldn't say that it's the last, true castle theme, because then we get Kingdoms and we get Fantasy Era, and we get so much cool stuff later. But there's this big span in the middle.
Yeah. I think this represents the end of a certain build style and technique, and a lot of like classic tropes that you can unarguably see in this picture here from the classic days. Obviously, they've changed things up a little bit because there's firing elements in the factions of this theme. So some of there's lots of big panels and big brick movements. I guess that's because you're going to fire at everything. But generally speaking, we've got cloth flags, the dragon masks hanging. We've got the shields mounted. We've got headlight stuff, crenellations, 75 slope roof. You've just mentioned it, portcullis, you name it. All the tropes are there in that familiar building style. But after this, it changes. By the time you get to 2015 medieval, it's trying to do a new take on the old thing. So I agree.
Yeah,
and it's conveniently placed at the year 2000 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Where everything else
goes. It's a nice cutoff date for whatever came before. This is also the progression, I think, of Royal Knights and Dragon Masters and Fright Knights. It's Bull Knights are kind of almost a mix of Fright Knights and Dragon Masters, and then you have the Royal Knights. This is like if the Royal Knights were just pushing into like early Renaissance. They've introduced gunpowder with cannons and things like that. So, they could have really done some very cool things with this theme. Instead, they decided to opt for some chunky builds with some funky different types of like mechanics and things with the Technic cannons and stuff like that. But if you look past that, you can kind of see like a logical progression of where Royal Knights and Fright Knights then ended up before it just all went to a different thing. So let's say hello to the chat. We actually have a lot of comments dropping in. We got a lot of people talking about this. I'm going to say, I just want to, I don't know. Yeah, we just wanted to kind of talk about introduction to this theme a little bit before we jumped in. We got Arn B says hello there. Hello. We got Chris Jones. Let's see. Looking forward to this one. Knight's Kingdom was after my prime child Lego era, but before my return as an A-full, so I'm not familiar with it. Well, you may be disappointed, but we'll. Yeah. There are. We can look past the faults and see some of the good in this theme. It gets a lot of hate. A lot of Castle people don't like it. I mean, I would say it gets even more than Fright Nights, which is pretty crazy. So
that is How's it going, Black Falcon?
Oh yeah. We did actually. I think Andrew and I talked about this on the show a couple of years back. So Let's see. Nate, Spacer Nate says, hello, Bull Knights need more love. I agree.
I've come to agree, Spacer Nate. We'll talk about that a bit more later.
Let's see. We got Stephen Andolph says, coming from Fright Nights, this was even more of a downgrade. My Castle Dark Ages started here, though some of the minifigs are stellar. Yeah. That's a pretty good. Well, that's a pretty good take. I think there's some good things in this theme. Maybe even some things that did better than Fright Nights, but overall, I agree with that as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Salutations, says Crusader. Bricks and Figs Collectibles says greetings. Never experienced this theme. This came out in my early 20s. Never experienced this theme, says Lorem Artist. Black Falcon Micah is in the house. Yeah. Welcome, my friend.
Welcome.
Josh says this is the start of my Dark Ages. So, unfortunately, it seems like, Knight's Kingdom kicked off a lot of Dark Ages. It wasn't necessarily that. I kind of had a gray ages. It wasn't like dark, but there was a time as well where I just wasn't as invested in what was going on, and this was part of the reason. What came after this is just so much worse. That's what's crazy. It's like, we can look at this and say, oh yeah, Fright Nights was better. Dragon Masters, even obviously Royal Knights is very well established as far as the classic castle theme. But what came after this, guys? It was so much worse.
I know. I look on this quite fondly now, to be honest.
And that's also with time things. You look back and you're like, look at this. We even have the foam rocks. With the moss. Fright Nights didn't really get much of that treatment. There's one or two posters from Europe, I think, that had some of the rocks with the Fright Nights, but a lot of it was just they didn't display it this is kind of I guess what I'm saying is it kind of after Fright Nights, it's almost a return to at least the spirit of some of the old castle feel with the painted backgrounds and the sunset with the mossy foam rocks.
Box art's good for this theme. One of the ticks in the sort of good and the pros column, if you like, and having researched it a bit for this show, come to like more and more elements the more I look, to be honest with you. I mean, perhaps I was a bit too hasty. Still not a big fan of those that lion board and that lion design. It's a less well executed Royal Knights design for me. However, much of a muchness now, 30 years later.
It's it's never my go-to. These Bardings and Shields, they kind of pile up in the bin because it's just not really my go-to if I'm gonna present some sort of army on the field. Also, this theme suffers heavily from what happens later. This is the start of a huge problem, and I'll actually pull up the next slide because this is what we're going to talk about next. And also, I got a couple of things because I got to talk about this.
Do it.
Lego needs to fix their archives. Lego needs to do a better brick set website or something, because how is it that I have to go onto eBay and Reddit to find high quality or slightly good quality images of their content that they've created as a company, and I can't find it anywhere on their website? I go to the instructions and it's low quality scans of instructions from sets that are came out in 2000. Anyway, not to get on a rant, but I'm just saying I think we need something there. Something needs to get fixed because where are all the high quality? We need an archive here. Why is it all third party? I'm all for third party, but
no, it's true. It's you have to really dig for some of this stuff, and even then, it's not exactly sharp. And it's out there, so why can't they accumulate it? And I guess their priorities lie in other areas, Jason.
Yeah, I guess it's just I have all the
wild as that is.
I have. It's just we have all the boxes here. We have boxes, we have the magazines, I have piles of the stuff, and if I scanned them with a high quality scanner, I'd have a better high quality archive than Lego themselves. It just doesn't make any sense. I just don't have the time to do that. I can't find this catalog that I know I have, actually, this page right here. I have it somewhere in my piles of things, but I just don't have time to do this for the show. Anyway, all right, so off of that, here Josh says, how is it Lego and Bricklink are the same but don't have the same name for parts? Oh, well, that's different. I thought you were going to say something about the archives. Images. Yeah, that is a good question. That's one we're not going to talk about today, but it is a very, very frustrating situation. All right. So what I was going to say is that this theme, and I know I'm long-winded. I'm going to let you talk too.
It's okay. Don't worry.
This theme suffers from a huge problem that Lego themes coming after it, and especially all the castle stuff, the Knights Kingdom 2 stuff, really had a problem with. And it is also what Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and some of these other big themes. Sorry, my mic is acting up here. Suffer from, and that's characters. There's no men-at-arms, and there's very little to no armies at all in these sets. They're all named characters, actually. That's a big problem because we can't, it's a castle theme, but you can't field an army because there isn't one. It's just a bunch of named characters.
No. So we've got to buy multiples and start swapping torsos and stuff.
Yeah, you just got to start making custom guys. So, as much as I'm happy to have named characters, and even all of these are cool to have. I like these characters. But we also need like soldier guarding castle, so we don't have that in this theme.
Unfortunately enough.
And of course that leads into things like Lord of the Rings, where there was only one human soldier in the entire wave, and the rest were all just named characters. So, so here, exactly. But this was a real lean into the characters. Royal Knights had King Richard, Robin Hood, and those types of things were showing up. But they decided to go all the way with this. We have King Leo, the leader, Queen Lenora, Richard the Strong, Princess Storm, John of Maine. Is that John of Maine?
John of Maine, yep.
Cedric the Bull, Weasel, and Gilbert the Bad.
Gilbert the Bad. That's
Gilbert
weak,
the
man.
Bad is kind of my favorite.
The Gilbert the is amazing. Gilbert the is great, and then Bad. Where's the
Gilbert the Strong?
Maybe that's the point. Maybe he really just deserves that title. Maybe he is the right use of Gilbert the Bad. Maybe
he's just a bad guy.
Now it's a return to ye days of old when knights were brave and bold. It's nice to get some context. Nice that I like the art and stuff. Again, echoing what you just said about the last slide, there's production value at the least. I quite like the way they've upped the stakes of the royal joust quite a lot since the last time we saw one. It's
good luck.
There's just quite a bit going on there, guys.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit. But
great play feature.
Yeah, I actually got Royal Joust set from my grandma for Christmas.
Oh, fab.
Yeah, so.
It was night and everything. That's great.
Yeah, it's a cool set. The stained glass revolving wall piece is nice. There's good things in this theme. It's just that it really does herald the end of a certain building style, it's lacking in a lot of other ways. So but yeah, let's so anyway, I just want to introduce the characters, and then that's it. There are just characters. So if you want an army, you get 40 John of Maines running around, and you get Princess Storm and like Richard the Strong, and some of these guys didn't really show up much. It was mostly John of Maine and this Weasel guy. Those were the main characters. Weasel dude. So let's get into the sets now. I don't exactly know. These are polybag sets, and they also some of these came in little boxes. So there's like multiple ones listed, but these may have been. I don't know if all of these were available in America. Actually, some of these might have been some limited release situations.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. It says packaged with the. I can't even say that. What is the kabaya sweets in Japan? So these were those ones that came with like the candies.
Oh right, okay.
So King Leo's spear cart. We have here. We have Richard's arrow seat, which is also named Defense Archer.
That he stands up on.
Yes, the little like dual crossbow turret.
Yeah.
In Japan, it was named Richard's arrow seat.
But he stands up on it.
But he stands up on it, and it's also the wrong name because Richard the Strong is not the character in that.
That's
set.
The other one, isn't it? With the sword. Yeah.
Yes. And so that one also released in America. as I believe a box and a poly bag.
Okay.
And it was called Defense Archer here. So that one, yeah. That one was widely available. Bull's Fire Attack. That's its cool little flamethrower, which looks a lot like something we've seen before. A little bit of that Friday Night, a little bit of that. Look at the way the shield is angled on the top. Remember that Dragon Master set?
Yeah, that's Dragon Master Friday Night's cross-pollination there, for sure. Yeah. Even the catapult, some of them remind me of some of the Black Knights little sets as well. Yeah, nice. Actually, I'd love to go back and just scoop like 20 of these.
I know, like as goofy as some of these are, and it is what it is. I still like them. I think they really have some charm, and especially, I mean, I like that. I know these were limited release, but like having the available king with the chrome crown and the leader, the Cedric the Bull leader, and these little like $3 packs or whatever.
Yeah. Good faces for your classic palette as well. I mean, I think I've got like maybe one of everyone apart from the female and one of the other guys. But I've got a few Bull shields. It's just something I haven't collected it en masse. The only thing I've got a lot of is I've got quite a lot of the Leo torso and trousers because I use those as like a special knight platoon in Royal Knights. Because if you look at the shield on King Leo's chest, it looks more like the Royal Knights, the 95 one. Yeah. So I use that as like a special with like a blue helmet and a black visor for them guys and stuff. But apart from that, not many. But they're still cool when you look back. They're close enough to those really the 95 ones. Close enough to that you you would want to scoop some of these if you were going back in time for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Bricks and Fixes. Thanks for digging, Jason. Yeah, trying to find all this stuff. And again, I apologize for some of the low res images. It is what it is. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But
it adds to it. I like the plastic sheeting effect. It adds to the like I'm going to unwrap it. It's nice.
Yeah, it's like a 4x4 war. King has to push his own cart, says Lorem. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's pretty messed up.
He should have just put him on a horse with a bargain, but there you go.
I think there is a set with him on a horse. We'll look at it a little bit later. And then Weasel's Stone Bomber is what they call this catapult.
Stone Bomber.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're making a point of the little 4-corner panels, sort of little baskets, aren't they? That's come in now. Those parts are reasonably fresh.
Yeah. We got that going on. I do like the look of these. Like as far as just presentation, you got the logos in the corners, you got the castle in some of the backgrounds, you got the main character presented in the corner here. I don't know. It's like we were saying, nice. the burnt map edge kind of around the.
It's like a combination of the back and the front of the old boxes, or maybe like when they do when the Islanders came back out for the second time. When they do like an anniversary box, it's a bit got like that kind of vibe. Because the old boxes were just all the way to the edge, box art, weren't they? They didn't have a banner like this. That's cool. I like it.
Yeah. Was crazy that what pieces still around, like those round helmets, but others aren't. Other things aren't. Yeah, that's always interesting to see. What parts kind of have. I mean, we still have the helmet with the bars across the face. They've still kind of producing that one, which is kind of interesting. I remember when that one was kind of hard for me to find for a while. I didn't have very many in my collection.
No.
Crusader asks, was the flamethrower part inspiration for the Dungeoneers? I mean, not this one particularly, though. Just images of this kind were for sure. I mean, it's very similar. All of this, like I said, my brain is just saturated with images like this. So when I put something into like a custom theme like Dungeoneers, it's going to be drawing from everything.
Definitely.
So getting into it again, now these ones were boxes. I've seen these in several conventions, and they're all very expensive and hard to get. But this was a very cool integration of chrome pieces into this castle theme. And again, I mean, love or hate the theme, I wish that they were doing stuff like this still. I wish that they had done more of that stuff before this. Collect 4. You collect all 4 of these and you get one piece of the chrome armor to like fully trick out Cedric Bull in his.
It's amazing. And another way to get the Armada breastplate, making a nice return as well. I've got a chrome dragon helmet head.
Really?
But yeah, I've got the Chrome Dragon helmet head. But none of the rest. I've got chrome swords and stuff, and it came up. It's a little bit worn on the chin. There's a little bit of the chrome scratched off on the chin, but it's not. It's enough that you can put it on and tilt in one way, and it still looks pretty chromy.
Okay.
I've got it on an actual Dragon Master rather than these guys, but yeah, it's cool. But yeah, I'd love that. I would actually get that chrome ball shield if I saw it, man. But it's probably available in like one shop for 50 quid or something.
Yeah, all of these sets are really expensive. I mean, some of them you could build fairly easily, like the catapult down here. The chrome sword's not going to get. That one's not that hard. What is Cedric the Strong? What is this guy's name?
Yeah.
Whatever his name is up here with the chrome breastplate and a little
skeleton.
Oh, yeah. Not that hard to put a set like that together. Black Dragon, though, Black Dragons are pretty easy to get a hold of from Fright Nights, but it's that helmet. Now, I have a Chrome Dragon Master's helmet from the Dragon Temple from Johnny Thunder.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't remember if it's Chrome or if it's a gold Chrome, though.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Remember. I think it might
I'm presuming it came from this because I just bought mine in a brick owl lot. I think it cost me about £5, and I just went, I'll treat myself. And don't see them very often. Even the chrome sword's hard to get. I went looking for some gold ones because I've only got like 2. I wanted a few more, and it was hard to get anything that didn't have any wear on. So anyway, not to digress, but being as the chrome thing comes up, I do like to touch on it because I love the chrome helmets, man. They're great.
Yeah, what's insane and makes me sad and want to cry is that these were $5 each.
I know.
When they came out, and inflated, adjusted for inflation, that would be about $10 a pop today.
Easy.
Which is nuts. And they're all roughly, the one with the breastplate is now valued at $110, and the one with the shield is valued at $89, which is odd. It seems like it would be more.
Yeah.
$110 for the dragon, and 52 for the catapult. Yeah, like I said, the catapult. Yeah.
Sealed is that new? Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Used is not used is 30, 45, 26, and 26.
Interesting.
Which seems low to me. Even those that bowl shield, like someone was saying in the comments, the chrome shield. Chris Jones had never seen the chrome shield. Yeah, no. Must be rare. I mean, it is rare to an extent, but you can
never seen one in real life.
Yeah, neither have I. I don't have any of these. Well,
you've got chrome swords.
Yeah, it's just these sets in general. I don't know.
I'm with you.
So the first, real quick, we'll name these and we'll just keep moving on. But this is a very cool, almost like a sub theme inside this thing where it's like, hey, collect them all kind of a thing. It's like, and you get this cool, chromed out knight.
The wagon's really cool.
Yeah, the wagon's cool. It uses some Star Wars laser cannons.
Yeah, I was gonna say it uses the laser cannons, doesn't it?
Like a horse bar or a horse armor helmet piece and stuff. Amazing. So the first one is called King's Catapult. I'll just drop the names real quick so you guys can look these up.
Do it, man.
Whatever. King's Catapult Dungeon is the one with the skeleton. Dragon Rider is the Black Dragon one, and Bull's Attack Wagon is the one in the corner with the wagon. So yeah, those are the names of those sets, and I love them. I would love to get a hold of these at some point. So these are all the weird exclusive ones. So there's this kind of round of 4, and then there was the 4 we looked at before, which were the Japanese exclusives. So now let's get into the actual sets. Here we go. These are the actual meat and potatoes of the set. And we can take a look here. We've got King Leo is the one down below. That's the name.
Look at the amazing building set piece in that.
I know, dude. It's like a tower. It's a very cool tower.
So much
the axe cart. We got the axe cart with Weasel, and we have the guarded treasure is the name of that other one there.
I do like that.
Yeah.
I like this.
So I got
the sword in the mod brick.
Yeah. It's almost like a kind of like a sword in the stone feel reference kind of to that. So then that is the treasure, the guarded treasure. That is it. This is the sword. I believe that's it. I don't know if there's any other treasure represented here at all. There might be a treasure. There might be something behind the tower piece. I don't remember. Yeah, this double trap is kind of crazy. It's falling axes, but there's also just a rock just in case.
Yeah,
just falls down on you as well. And then there's a nice little jail cell built out in the back there. I had all of these when they came out as a kid, actually, because I got the Joust, I think, first. And then I was like, well, they're not my favorite, but it's the current castle theme, and so I think I got another one for my birthday, this one
right.
here, and I bought the little ones, right? The King Leos, the axe cart one. I actually have the axe cart. I have an axe cart. I have a couple of them, but I have one sealed in a box.
Oh, fun.
I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I don't know. It's not worth a whole lot. Sealed, it's like $46.
Interesting.
But yeah, so not a whole lot going on. They're just kind of chilling. Josh, you say green or gold chrome. I believe that's referencing the helmet from Dragon Temple from Johnny Thunder. Yeah. Before adults treated Lego like Pokemon cards. Yeah, if they released anything like these now, I mean, we'd have scalpers and people raiding Costco, and it'd be a whole problem now, unfortunately.
Terrible.
Let's see what else we got. The turret wall with the windows is kind of a cursed part. I like it. I like this part. But I didn't love it when it came out, and it is kind of difficult to use.
It's not easy to. It looks like it's going to be really easy to incorporate it. Yeah. And you start thinking, get 4 of them and make it. Mm-hmm. Wait till you start trying to do it.
Because it makes it long.
Really stupid.
If you put 2 together, it makes a weird oval type build. You can use them as columns on a castle almost to build up to another area above it, but it's much more of an architectural feat to integrate.
I find them better. They look best when self-contained like that, just like that one was there with a little 75 blue slope roof on. If that was coming out of the side of one of your bigger towers, just as a little sort of dormer or the little bit that pops out, they look good like that.
Yeah.
Like you say, I mean, you've worked them in some really imaginative ways, I'm sure. And
I feel like I've done a couple, but I would agree with you. They work well as the alcove tower off the side of a bigger structure with a little pointed roof. They work okay that way. I do like that they attempted a new molded wall piece. And I mean, I don't think it looks bad here in Guarded Treasure as the main area here with the roof on top. I think it looks okay. And the castle actually... Go ahead.
No, sorry, I didn't mean it to lag. I thought just was going to say that I think it would have looked better with a thin line arrow slit window rather than the big arch one. I think they would, or they certainly would have been more useful now to mockers. But anyway, they're still cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I totally interrupted what you were going to say, and now I've busted your train.
No, you didn't. I was reading a comment while you were talking.
So.
I agree. Yeah, maybe an arrow loop. Maybe, because they're so different that it's okay, well, maybe change the window so it's not just a standard arch size. And then really that gives us something else that's unique about it other than just a kind of funky scaled piece here. I did I guess I was saying I like that they attempted to give us, another wall mold, corner or panel piece that you can integrate into castle building. And it does come in 2 colors. Actually, I think it comes in more because I think tan, it may even come in tan and black, but in this theme, it came in dark gray and light gray. So that's kind of cool. Let me see here. Chris Jones. Is that just literally 4 pieces to make a tower? How extravagant. And the King Leo set. Yeah. I got this set. I don't like this. I don't like this little tower. Why? I don't know why they included that. Less is more, says Aaron. Let's see. Lorem says, Jason, this was an era where the designers out of college replaced the master builders. They heavily leaned into large parts and less building. Yeah. This is where they switched out a lot of their designers. We're going into that. And you see that way more evidence of that later. They after this theme was gone with the Jackstone and things like that coming into the next few waves of Lego sets. So it starts to become quite evident. All right, what was I going to say? These are fun sets here. Let's take a look. Well, yeah, let's take a look at this. We got the
nice.
I think that's Royal Joust, and what's that catapult called? You can hear my little mouse.
6032.
Catapult Crusher.
Catapult Crusher, nice. And I suppose those boulders would totally crush you. It's nice. I like it. It's I like this chunky wheel business. It's a bit of a different approach to the wagon wheels we've been used to, but I don't hate it. It's it's. I mean, the stuff's getting bigger and bulkier, and they've got to launch all these really heavy stones, so it makes sense that there'd be a bit more to the wheels. I was saying before they've upped the stakes of the joust a little bit there. It's in this
the spinning battle axe.
It's intense.
The spinning battle axe is nuts.
It almost looks at the picture like it's like spin ball, like where you have to sort of hit the axe back at the other guy and then hit it that way. It's a weird one, but certainly
it is. You hit the shield, and it axes the guy on the horse. So whoever gets there first, I guess. But then you're also kind of axing yourself.
Because it comes back. It's weird. Or you've got to be quick. Or it's both. I'm not sure.
It's actually kind of the dumbest thing ever.
It's a quick death ritual, I think.
It's, kind of. I also, just for no reason at all, just want to point out the error in the graphic design. There's 2 treasure chests.
Oh, yeah.
That's not, it only comes with 1, just in case you get excited.
Oh, yeah.
It's only 1. They just doubled it on the Photoshop there. I like it. I don't know if I have this catapult crusher. I like it. It comes, the big, again, we're talking bigger pieces. So I think that catapult piece actually was introduced potentially on this theme. So, but not all the big pieces are bad, because I really, really do like the stained glass window revolving wall piece. Now, that wasn't a new panel. That piece had been around for a while, but it was a nice transparent stained glass piece. So, and I think it only comes in this set and maybe the castle. So it's a little bit of a rarer part. So
it's nice. I've got a couple of them. It's pretty good.
Yeah, they're cool. I think they can be integrated into some cool builds. I want to get a hold of a couple of these catapult crushers. I actually like it. It's no more goofy or crazy than some of the, like, dual arm defender or whatever that one was. Or what's the one with the Crusaders?
Twin arm
launcher. Yeah, I mean, it's got a kind of a fun little look to it. I think it's in the spirit of some of the classic castle. The chunky wheels are a choice. I mean, I don't know about that, but I guess it kind of fits their aesthetic. The bulls don't have in the theme here. The bulls don't have any castle. They have siege equipment. That's it.
Yeah.
They're an offensive force, completely offensive. They don't have any bases at all.
You just keep coming at you with this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
and
there is, and if you want more lore, I don't have a lot of the lore. I did actually pull some lore up in our video that we did on the old show. Let's Talk About Lego from Brick Monarch's channel. If you want to find this, I do talk a little bit about the lore. I will say from what I remember, Cedric Bull was like he had there was a line of brothers, 5 brothers. He was the last one. He didn't get an inheritance because they all took it, something along those lines. And so he rolled out, and he lived in the Dark Forest and came out and built an army from the Dark Forest to then attack King Leo and his guys. So they do integrate the Dark Forest into the Bulls' kind of origin story here, which is kind of fun. Kind of gives you a place where they are at, which actually makes sense, because the Dark Forestmen, maybe, I wouldn't say that they joined the Bull army at all, but maybe whatever remnants of the Dark Foresters could have joined his army.
I can see that.
If it was an offensive against the Lion Knights, then they might have been up for it. So anyway, his origin is Dark Forest. That's where he comes from. And then these Lion Knights look very much like descendants of some sort of the Royal Knight faction.
Yes.
Although in my own, if I'm going to depict them, I'm never probably going to integrate them into the Royal Knights army. They are their own faction.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So
I agree. Apart from the King Leo torso, which I am going to sneak.
Yeah, that one works pretty well. You can kind of integrate that in for Elite Knights or something like that. Spacer Nate says they could have added a few more parts to that and passed it off as a ruins pretty easily, like the King's Throne over here. Yeah. Yeah, that could have been a way to do that. The juniorized started in 1998 town. Yeah, I mean, it's all kind of junior because it's all Lego for kids at this time. People could say that all the 4 wide vehicles are juniorized because they don't regularly make a lot of sense. But I know what you're saying, Steven.
The big piece.
The big chunky. Yeah. There's a little soft spot in my heart for, the 1989, 1999 town sets. I think they still do a lot of really cool stuff with them. But I totally understand what you're saying there. Pretty neat stained glass piece. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Nice piece.
And you copy this Siege engine in Dragon Master style and it would stand up to any of their other siege weapons. Yeah. You can maybe swap out the wheels, for the more elegant wagon wheels, something like that. And it could totally work. Yeah. You could even swap out the bucket piece if you don't like that bigger new piece and put one of the little old scoops from
the scoops
Lego City. Yeah, the back of the
twin armor.
Yeah.
I like that. With the hinge finger on. They're cool.
Yes, it is. The chains are being used as reins. Yeah, which adds kind of a harder edge to it. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Again, it's goofy. It's a little funny, but I do like that they did add the horns to these armor pieces on the horses, and he's got chains like coming off of it. So it's a little bit more like a little darker, I guess. Yeah, Lorem, the teddy bear faction. You're talking about Royal Knights. First castle. Oh, let's see. You want to read this one?
First castle I got was this theme in 2001. Love all these sets. Still have them. And that's Mr. Paul Cantu. Ace, keep them. Don't expose them to direct sunlight.
Yeah.
And that's a nice little slice of history you've got there, dude. Well done. I wish I had all of these guys, but I don't.
Yeah. I've got a handful of these ones. I've got little bits and pieces of them here and there, and I try to keep them together. They're some of their old torsos and stuff faded. There was a time where if you didn't really just use them as collectors and put them in nice spots, and they were just in a pile of Lego that you were building from, the torsos and stuff the prints would fade and stuff on them pretty quick.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So this is now again in the spirit of the original castle stuff, and even the old Lego themes. This is before they completely abolished, alt builds and things like that. They do have some alternative builds for some of these. They're a little weak, but then if you look at the sets, they don't have a lot of parts to work with.
No.
So, they do what they can. And then they added a story as well. So they have these little comic book problems that they're solving with these alt builds. So instead of just making here's a cool thing, it's we need to get across the bridge fell down, so let's build a bridge or whatever. So they have these little stories that you can build. I appreciate that.
Provide inspiration, don't you? This one in the bottom left-hand corner reminds me of your Little John and Robin Hood river crossing with the little battle. So they're inspiring and they stay inspiring. So that's good. You even see them stack up double lion heads on this one at the bottom here, which is interesting. I don't think I've seen that before. Not something I do, but I do quite like the bull throne in the top left. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that one has a nice ominous. I even like the lighting on it with the red lighting and stuff. It's kind of ominous. That whole thing is kind of cool.
No, it's nice. It's I think I might have slept on the bulls a little bit. I might have to look out for that set that evaded me all that time ago and try and get, because I like that set because you get it all in one. We'll talk about that when it comes up. But yeah, this is good alt sets, and like you say, not a lot of stuff to work with, but they pulled some interesting stuff out.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I appreciate this is still creative. Creativity minded, right?
Yeah, it's production value behind it, and good. Production value meets creative mindedness, and then you get something really nice like this. And it's all those things we love about Lego, like the consistency and that sort of thematic approach and that thread throughout. This is what we love to see from them. But obviously, this represents the old way.
it's inspiring storytelling, just being creative, not just in your builds, but in your imagination as well. So I like that. And actually I do like this treasure chest chained up on the horses. Looks kind of cool. It's like a nice way to do that. I mean, like, I would maybe put that in a mock, maybe a little more elegantly done, but like the same concept with like two horses with like big loads of treasure behind them, walking around or between them. So,
dude,
fun
us and all the people that watch this show are going to have some amazing little side builds in our mocks after all these episodes, because there's been at least one or two things in every theme we've covered where we've been like, that'd be good in a mock. And I agree. And there's ideas all over the place. Just nice to see them do stuff with chains, ideas that Lego put forward with them more towards the time when they first came out. It's nice to see.
I agree.
Well done getting these images, man.
Yeah, it was, like I said, you can kind of see some of these are kind of goofy, and I pulled them off of multiple different websites, including eBay listings and all kinds of things. So I did actually hunt around for a while trying to find all these, especially the back of the box ones. They're not on back of the box builds website. So he didn't really mess with these ones, or whoever's running that site hasn't really gotten into this one yet. Although I did, this was on this one with the combiner armor. That image was on the site. That was the only one that was on there. Which is kind of interesting. But all right, so now we get one of the first fan designed Lego sets of all time.
Whoa.
Designed by Dan Siskin, the founder of Brickmania. I don't know if you know Brickmania, but he does all the military stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, that's his business. Like he's the sole founder pretty much of Brickmania. But before you and Andrew talking about it before. Yeah, so Dan, he comes to, I've met him multiple times. He comes to I should have him sign. I have the box. My wife bought me this set sealed.
No way.
And I have the box still and everything. I thought I might have even had it over here, but next time I go to BrickCon, I should have him sign the box at least.
Totally.
But he comes to all the different conventions around the United States. But this was from I don't even remember, My Own Creation or something. It was some sort of thing they did where they had a couple of people. I don't know if it was a contest that you entered or something. But anyway, he designed this. This is technically because of the art, right, that's involved here, and the characters that are here. That's Queen Lenara. Is that her name?
Yeah.
I don't believe that's supposed to represent Richard the Strong and Queen Lenara, because they have different hair pieces. So I think they're just using those parts as the blacksmith and his wife. But still, they're using Knight's Kingdom pieces.
Otherwise, the blacksmith's in trouble with the king.
Yes, big time. But this is the OG blacksmith shop, all the other ones that came after it. This one's the one. This one's the big one. So this fits pretty well with the medieval market, actually. The one that came out in fantasy era. Yeah. So.
And they bring back the glass windows and stuff.
Yeah, they got the old. Yeah. It's actually a pretty cool combination of parts. You got some of the city windows with the shutters. You got the hinge hatch pieces coming off here with the bigger windows below. I like the sign is a little hammer with the little. Oh yeah,
it's nice. That is nice.
And I had to heavily edit this. I had to heavily edit this image because it was so bad. The background is from Lego's website, and then this part I had to superimpose another image of the blacksmith over the image that was on this already.
Okay, I see that now.
Yeah, you can see the little trashy Photoshop around the edges.
You've done well with what you had, Jason. Well done. We get the picture, and it's nice. Good effort. The fact that you even did that at all is testament to the care and attention you have for Lego. So well done. Yeah, I think it's a nice one. I mean, it's got that real classic build style, hasn't it? That kind of, if medieval did kind of basics box house Lego or townhouse Lego sort of thing. It's really nice. And again, taking on the Tudor paneling without the new techniques we've got now is always nice to see. Always got a bit of a soft spot for it being done like this.
I think it looks good.
It's nice. Yeah, I like it. No complaints.
There's a lot of subtle designs that in this set that enhance this far above what we've just looked at in this thing, which is kind of funny because like some rando just like made a better set for their theme than the designers who were hired to do it. So I think it's pretty funny. Art at Alorum, it's the Shop at Home from the Shop at Home catalogs and stuff from back then, and it's the theme was my own creation, which is mock.
Hence a mock was born.
Yes. Crusader says eBay listings are a lifesaver for trying to recreate back of the box builds. Yeah, especially if you don't. Back of the Box Builds, the website, Back of the Box Builds, I think is what it's called, has really, like, they're continually updating and adding new stuff to it. So it's becoming the number one like go-to place to find alt builds for all these old sets. But if you can't, if it's not on there, eBay, you might want to look at eBay. They show all the pictures of the boxes for their listings. So
they do.
Anyway, this is a cool set. Technically not part of the official released wave of sets, but it does fit in the theme, and so that's why we're looking at it. And then here we have a little bit more. We have the alt build for the one, what was it? This one, the guarded treasure set. So here's the alt build, and then a quick shot of the instructions for the inside of the blacksmith, just because I thought it was cool enough to show what it looked like inside. So
no, it's nice. I like the interior, really nice on this one. It really gives you a little bit more of a look inside, and they've used loads of nice accessories. And because again, this is something that Lego didn't give you a lot of around the classic days. Lots of interior. Now we're getting something that resembles, more like the modern sets we get today. It's like a really sort of. It's like a kind of looks like it might be inspired by Magisto's Magic Workshop a little bit in some ways, just because of the way the split happens and it's on those plates. But then obviously it's a lot more bulked out, and it's you can even get the minifig in the bed for a start. So I really like it. I rate it. I'm gonna have to build it at some point, to be fair, because I could part this out easily, but I just never got around to it. It is quite cute. And then some alt builds on the left here as well with some more cartoon storyline stuff, which is all nice. Lore fodder. So was this the game that was running in tandem? You'll know more about this than me, Jason. You're a good Lego gamer, but so Lego created Knigdom. This is the game that ran in tandem as this was all released.
Yeah, so there's a lot of lore behind, or not lore, but a lot of content, I guess, or other things that were running around the same time. Lego was doing a lot of these, Masterpiece or whatever. They jumped around with different game companies to create their games for quite a while before they kind of locked in on, I think it's Traveler's Tales now or something like that. Traveler's Tales. Okay. But before that it was all kinds of different companies. And so there's a mass amount of inconsistency in what kind of game you would get when you bought a computer game from Lego, which is why I loved it. And now I don't as much because it's all the same formulaic, spitting out the same game over and over again with different skins. But at this time, so these were like before Lego Studio and Lego, like I can't remember even what a Lego Digital Designer were available from Lego and Bricklink. They had creator games where you would kind of play a story, but like also just be like open world Lego building, and they would just give you digital parts and you could just build castles and stuff in like this kind of bad, not easy to use interface, but it was still kind of fun. They did one for City, Lego Creator Harry Potter, Lego Castle, and then Knight's Kingdom, and a couple of other ones. So I just thought I'd throw that up there as part of the lore. And then they had also they had some stories, books and things like that. So you get a couple of different books with some of the characters' stories and things like that.
Okay.
So they had a bit of media. That's the word I was looking for. They had some media surrounding this, and they did that a lot during this time because they were trying to retain the attention of their audience. So they were trying to budget things. But so that's the Creator Knight's Kingdom game up there. Got a cool tower. It looks all right, for the parts you get. I think they did a pretty decent job. I kind of like that the jail cell is on the second floor instead of the bottom.
Yes. It's interesting.
But
we're gonna. Carry on. I was just going to say, just very quickly, coincidentally, the 4 long slopes on the roof of the My Own Creator set, the blacksmith. Was this around the time that part came out? The one that's longer than the 33 slope?
Yeah, I think that part was coming out around Star Wars,
18, is it?
1999.
Okay, interesting.
I would want to say. I think there might be a couple of them on the 1999 Star Wars sets, and so that was
Okay.
kind of this time era.
I always thought it was a little bit later than that, so that's I've learned something new today myself. This is
It might be, yeah, it might be 2000 when those showed up. I can't remember, but I thought there was maybe some on like the Infiltrator or like the A-Wing or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Fair enough.
I don't also
No,
remember
very-
the exact
very cool.
dates those Star Wars sets dropped. I know there was only like maybe 10 or 8 in the first wave in 1999.
Yeah.
It all gets a little mashed together in
I can imagine.
1999 and 2000.
I can imagine. Yeah, I know. I remember very well, or don't, as the case may be. They're nice storytelling bits.
Yeah, Space Renee says, I have the first steps built for this shop from my parts collection, but then I went to sleep and lost interest for now. It has a nice look. Sometimes you just, you go to sleep and have other things to think about when you get back up. Oh, yeah, creator talking about the back of the box builds. I want to do it myself. A lot of the instructions on the back of the box builds website have mistakes where you can tell it's not what they actually did on the box. Yeah, I guess I was just mostly referring to decent images. They actually have decent images of the backs of a lot of those boxes. So if you want to just work from the images on the website and you don't want to do their instructions, that's totally understandable. But at least they have a decent reference, which is hard to find. You had to buy a ton of sets to complete this back then. Needed all those blue slopes to complete the roof. Yeah, I think it's a lot easier now to complete a lot of this. But back then, some of these things weren't as readily available. So,
commitment. The original studio.
It was the original studio. Yeah, Creator Knights was the original studio. Yeah, well, the Creator City one was also. I mean, that was a.
Yeah, I think I had to go on that at the time. I was like, "What, Lego on computer? You must be kidding me!" And then it was.
Yeah, this is what I was raging about earlier, Josh. I said, he says, a little shocked that Lego isn't archiving their stuff better since they lost the patent for the brick. I mean, it makes zero sense to me. All this stuff should be like easily accessible. I mean, even if it was a paid subscription for like $2 a month, I think they'd make bank on people wanting to access this stuff. But maybe they then want you to pay royalties to use it in our shows. Who knows? They might just take all of these YouTube shows down at some point, saying we're, infringing on their art. Who knows?
Who knows?
Meanwhile, AI runs the world, so who cares? All right, I'm gonna pull up the last couple of sets, and then we're gonna look at it. I gotta get off pretty much close to right around an hour today, just because I need to go pick up my daughter at school today.
For sure.
So let me pull these up, and then we do actually have a couple of mocks that I want to talk about. So
amazing.
We just had so many images I had to pull in.
That's cool.
So we have this one here. I know we haven't even talked about the flagship sets, which is the Bull's Attack, which is the set here. And again, it's another eBay listing. This is 10 times higher quality than anything that was on Brickset or Reddit or any other website. So I'm like,
well, we get the picture loud and clear here. That's fine. Well done for digging this one out. This is all right. I'm on the lookout for this. If I see this at a reasonable price, I'm buying this because it just solves everything straight away. You get a few shields, a flag, a few minifigs for the Bulls. Now I'll just build from there because I am quite into the Bulls at the moment, having done a bit of a design. How do you feel about this one, Jason?
Yeah, I like this set. I bought this at BrickCon sealed for like $90 a few years ago, and now it's worth like $210. Okay. But as far as that goes, but I liked it enough to buy it. We got a nice cloth flag. I like the Bull Knights. I know, like Andrew, when I talked, we had our old show. He hated them.
Yeah,
and I always thought that was funny because like they were more accurate than a lot of the other Lego Knights that have done Bright Knights and stuff like that. Bats on the shields and things. Bull Knights.
I know what it is as well. I totally understand. Like I used to have that flinch reaction of, this isn't my castle, but then just have to sort of make the allowance. Like, okay, the wagon wheels aren't around, but they had to do something because all the stuff's more heavy duty. So and then maybe you don't like those really big all-in-one bucket molds, but then we like all-in-one stair molds from Fabulous that we use in Pirates. Like as soon as I started seeing it for what it is, I've been like, oh man, I've been sleeping on the Bull Knights. I need more of these shields.
Well, so, I just historically, bulls were on a lot of knights, a lot of French knights and things like that. The bull was a huge symbol in heraldry. So I always thought it made sense. Like I never
strong
thought
as
of
an
it
ox.
as,
That's
yeah,
where it comes
exactly. So, and I think it's a decently done design. I mean, it's got red eyes and everything. But
what I really like about this is when you see these catapults and these heavier duty weapons messing with a few of these technique parts that we were talking about last night, they're sort of like weird parts. I think like it kind of makes some of the chunky build aspect of the king's line, of the antagonist's line. No, sorry, the protagonist. These are the antagonists, aren't they? The protagonist line. I feel like it makes it make a bit more sense because if they've used less parts and it's all a bit bulky, not great from a detailed mock fan point of view, but for playability, I can just whack down a tower by aiming at that bottom support or go for the big panel, and then it's not going to be too hard to put the set back together and, oh, you got me, let's have another go, whatever. It's like the play values there. So I don't know whether that had anything to do with it or that's just me reading into it, but I don't know. It's like, I mean, I look at this now, you've got a big target, some are firing at it, that then flicks up a catapult like this. There's a lot of chucking and throwing going on with this theme, and then there's lots of big panels and easy, low build sub castles and stuff in this theme. So I think playability was being pushed. It feels that way.
Yeah, I think there's definitely
see that.
Definitely a bit of more function and playability. I mean, if you look at the old castles, none of them have play features.
Yeah,
they're just gates, and the gates open. It's like a hatch, but there's no like. I mean, later there's skeletons pop out of things and stuff like that. But like
Fire-breathing fortress, you get a bit.
Yeah. Well, then you get playthrough. But I guess like all the old ones,
I know what you mean. Though.
Like the siege walls and things like that. It's just a wall.
Yeah.
Or like the old castle, the Black Knights and the King's Castle are just squares. There's there's nothing going on. Like, well, and I'm not saying that as
the play feature is that you can make it straight or a square. Or
yeah, exactly. I guess there is that. Yeah, but you know what I mean. So like. We're in this era now coming off of, some of those other castles where play features are really pushed. Johnny Thunder and those things have been introduced. And so we're like, we need...
Because they're competing with firing toys. Like, how do we keep Lego fans buying Lego when they're getting into firing toys and stuff? So Lego have had to think outside
well, and we got to remember during this time, Lego exclusively marketed towards kids. Like they almost hated that adults even bought Lego or played with it still. Like they did that for a very long time, up through like 2010, 11, 12. They were very adamant that Lego is a kid's toy and adults shouldn't really play with it. That was their message for a very long time until the whole adults welcome thing. And then now we have the utter disaster nightmare of whatever that spawned in the Lego world. But we can get into that another time. I also want to mention that this is the only time, as far as I can remember, that Lego made a set of a siege camp. This is a siege camp. We don't get that in any other Lego castle. We have siege things, towers, and things like that. But this is
we don't get the full siege camp. Yeah. So you'd buy a castle and a siege camp, and you'd have everything. Yeah, which would be very cool.
Kind of cool.
Because you can stage the attack and stage the defending, and you got the siege tower, the siege carts, the horse, the catapults, the bigger catapult. It's lovely.
Yeah,
cool little tank. Space Nate says, and I agree.
Love those missile launchers. Yeah, they came out on Alpha Team. I thought they were pretty cool too. Yeah. I think so. We did discuss this again, me and Andrew, and I think we kind of came to the conclusion this one was kind of supposed to be depicting a ballista. Because of the way it's built with the chain on the back and the little crossbar along the top. I always thought it was like a siege cannon, which I think works, but I think this might have been considered a ballista. There's a siege tower. It's got a battering ram that slides back and forth. The siege tower, kind of weird, but the ramp slides out, so you can like slide out instead of falling down onto a wall. It slides along the top there.
And there's a prison in the middle of it.
Prison in the middle that you can release by pulling those pins out, and then you've got what's that guy's name? Cedric? No, not Cedric.
Richard the Strong.
Richard the Strong is not so strong right now because he's in jail.
He's a long way from his castle. Look there in the background. They've got him by the bulls.
Yeah,
see what I did there?
That's too good, bro. So, sorry, I'm pulling up another image here. Got him though. Here we go. Oh no, There we go. Add to stage. You should jump in here now.
No worries.
There we go. So this is the back of the box here. We're gonna keep moving on. So it does have looks like though they do have a cannon here depicted, right, with smoke and stuff.
Yeah.
That's like a lower, which actually, if you look at cannons from this era, the ones that started like showing up towards the end of the Middle Ages, they are low set in like these wooden frames, kind of like this. Yep. So that's kind of fun to see. But again, a lot of bridges. People designing these just loved making bridges.
Yeah.
Here, if you want to
a lot of bridge sets. The Swedish King Albert of Mecklenburg had a bull as his coat of arms. There you go. We were talking about how widespread the bull symbology was.
It's historical, man.
That's fantastic. And here we are, our flagship castle. And we can see a bit of that ballista on panel action here in play. I quite like this.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. 1 second before we completely go off of this, we'll pull in Bricks and Figs. Says, this is a fantastic siege set, in my opinion. I was able to acquire this used for a decent price, too, which is always great. Yeah, I want more of those cloth flags. I want like 2 or 3 of those.
Yeah, man, they're cool. I was saying to Jason before we came on, this came up at like 24 quid once for me. And I was collecting Dragon Master stuff and I didn't buy it. I was gutted.
Yeah. So here we go, and this is why, again, I just really feel like it is built in the spirit of classic castle. We got a raised base plate, you got the portcullis. Yeah, it's, I think they integrated those cursed Lego column built wall panel things pretty well into this.
Yeah, they did.
You got the stained glass. Unfortunately, the back of the castle is just a giant curtain. There's not a lot of defense going on back there. But, it's a Lego play set. So
yeah.
A lot of panels. One of the only sets that come with dark gray standard wall panels, actually.
Okay.
I don't remember if there's another set that comes with those.
No,
maybe
not sure. Potentially.
Bright Knights.
Bright Knights has got a couple in one of them for sure.
So,
but yeah, but not many at all.
And this, and this speaks to what you were talking about, where you hit the panel on the wall and the treasure flies out and all that. It looks like the chest is empty in this image, but that is a siege cannon right there. There's no getting around that. That's not a ballista or anything. That's a siege cannon.
That's a siege cannon.
So that's kind of fun feature. It actually works really well too. If you shoot that wall panel, it does completely launch that treasure chest out of the castle.
Yeah.
And you got another dead knight skeleton with the same hat as the one we looked at in those collectible images.
Yeah.
The same guy, or it's the same situation. What is that guy's name? Is that the Bad? What's his name? The Bad?
Gilbert the Bad.
He's got that hat in their army. So
well, sometimes he appears in the dragon hat. It's weird. There's a couple.
Oh, you're right. Oh yeah, he's right here in the dragon hat. Never mind. Anyway, I like that they included that.
I know what you mean. And is that the brown parrot?
Yeah. So it's the only set with the brown parrot.
Yeah, of course it is.
They have it. I think they have. He might have another brown parrot, but it's like a different, might be like an updated mold or something. I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure this is the only set to come with a brown parrot. It's the only set to come with that flag too, that cloth Lion Knight's flag.
So if you've got Lenora in your collection and she's your pride and joy, and she hasn't got a brown parrot, you
gotta fix that. I have a Lenora with a brown parrot, and then I have like 3 other Lenoras without a brown parrot. But it's one of the best medieval dresses they've ever done, and so I always scoop them up when I find them.
It's actually the black conical hat that she's wearing is the cheapest color that on Brick Owl here. Weirdly,
well, it came
cheaper
in
than the older ones.
Yeah, the white and the red one. It came in this set, and it also came in like a set released around this time, one of those service packs. So so maybe that's
you get extra. That's cool. And is this also the one where the portcullis arch is all one piece, and you can
yes.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
Got that.
Very nice.
We're gonna keep moving on because I gotta get going here. So there was a lot to cover in this theme, a lot more than I realized. We do have some nice alt builds here. I mean, nice in the sense that they attempted to do alt builds.
Yeah.
I don't think they're very good. The original castle design is much better.
Yeah, I think so. These two on the right hand just look very stacked up. Again, I quite like the comic art. I think the nicest one is the bottom left, and even that's got some wonky stuff going on. So, yeah, not amazing. In fact, it's weird. The castle's got the weakest ult builds compared to other little ones. I think.
Right. It's like they gave up. They're like,
So,
we
yeah,
tried
so-
on the other ones with all our limited parts, and now we got to the castle. We're tired.
Yeah, maybe they got some like
tired.
3-year-olds in to have a go, and just we thought this would be nice and inclusive. No, it's cool. The spirit's there. This is a set that my mate was doing a mock of this actually, and he'd got loads of these parts, and his was all stacked up because he doesn't normally make Lego. And he was like, "What do you think of this?" I was like, "It's great." but it was cool because he'd done these kind of bits. He'd just done the stack thing. Yeah, so it's nice, but no cigar on this one for the ult builds, I'm afraid. The stuff in the cartoons is nicer than the builds.
If you want to upload your images,
for sure, yeah.
We did actually do specifically 2 mocks for this theme, both retro space coats. Jim and I each did a quick small build to represent this theme yesterday. So we're going to pull those up, and then I think we're going to call it after that because do unfortunately have to get going. There were a couple of more things I was going to pull up. Well, actually, I'll just throw this one up real quick because and you guys can look at some of this stuff a little later if you ever want to get into it. But we do have an interesting image I did want to just throw up real quick here. Apparently, I think you could build some like combiner models with some of those earlier sets we looked at in the poly bags.
Oh, amazing.
So it looks like you can kind of complete these things. See that? It's like you can join them into like a combiner thing. So just thought I'd throw on there. And then let me see. The other one was another castle. And we're not going to pull that one up, actually. But there was another castle with the heraldry of the Bull Knights and the Lion Knights from this that came out like 4 or 5 years way after this thing came out, this whole theme. And it's called like King's Castle. It's like a limited edition thing. And you guys can look that up. But this was my mock that I contributed to the Knight's Kingdom theme. I thought, since we're introducing gunpowder, why not give it to the Lions too? So we have the King's Cannon Crew is what I'm calling this one.
Amazing. I love it. I really like this. And it's
a
twin. Double in true lion style, the twin.
You gotta have the double cannons.
Yeah. So, nice that you got the lion in the middle as well, so they see that, and that's the last thing they see before they either get run over or destroyed to the face by these cannons. Really nice. I love the minifig. Both of them are amazing, but I love dude out here with the Palomar. Senor Palomar head.
Oh yeah. Well, I was like, they didn't have a lot of parts in studio, and then I was like, let's like bring in some faces kind of around the same time era. Maybe these guys are men at arms and actual soldiers instead of just characters, named characters. So
I'm gonna have to make him. He's lovely. I like the breastplate as well. But I like the fact that you embrace the era-specific wheels technique, and it's not hard to it's not easy, to build with some of these parts and get something that's quite comprehensive. So this is a good little solution for the Lions to have some firepower. Yeah, fire at that siege cart and stuff.
Fire back. Yeah. So anyway, that's what kind of came to mind. I thought, this, and actually, what's funny is I had a list of other sets you could add to it, like a second wave, and this was on that list. Because I had written it up a while back. Like, what else could we add to Knight's Kingdom? Because there's enough there that maybe was missing, So that was one of them. Was like a cannon for the good guys. So
it's awesome. Good job with the artwork as well, from lifting the.
I just pulled. I just pulled it. And then
really consistent.
The rocks in front are literally a sample image from Windows Computer that I just put in front.
Brickstock Knight's Kingdom, man, smashed it.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man. Really like the chunky wheels for the cannon like this. Yeah, well, it kind of gives it's a heavy kind of, like a heavy siege equipment. That is
definitely heavy duty.
That is one thing that I like about this. Is these big chunky wheels do give this kind of iron shod, like heavy, almost orc siege engines, So it kind of gives that feel to it. So, and then we have yours. Let's take a look at this. Tell me about it.
Oh, so I just. I like making a boat, and I wanted to make something for the bulls, so I made the bulls their answer to the sea serpent. It's a bit longer. Forgive me. I had to make this on a very limited time last night, and I got everything exactly how I want it, and then I didn't put the the prison lion guys 2x2 in the middle, and probably got the wrong torso, so they're not actually holding the oars. Those oar sides do actually hinge, but yeah, so they can kind of go like that. But
that's cool.
I just didn't perfect that bit, but I didn't want to not show it because I'd worked hard on the rest, and it's got like I think I've included a quick back view because there's a brick built bull's head on the back as well, just so that's kind of
that's cool.
That goes away. So so yeah, just something really based on the sea serpent. With an introduction of a few newer parts, a little bit of snot going on, and then obviously got like a Kraken in there because Krakens are all the rage at the moment.
Yeah.
And I gave him the white dragon, just the side plumes for his chrome dragon helmet. Maybe
I see.
Maybe he killed. Maybe that guy. Maybe Cedric killed the white dragon guy. I'm not sure. I'm going to sort of messing around with lore here, took them off and putting them on my helmet. Or maybe not. Who knows? But I tried to keep the colour scheme as true as possible. And the only thing I'll say, because I know we're very short on time, but I only introduced green into the palette for this faction based purely on Gilbert's neck. Thing on his torso. That's the only reason there's any green. Just to like tie it in, because I love Gilbert the Bad's torso. I don't know what it is about it.
It's hard to see him. He's hanging on
at
the back.
Behind.
But I know what you're talking about. He's got that cool. Well, it's Hails from the Dark Forest, really, is what it feels like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like it, man. I like it. I like the squid.
So there you go. So that's my
ore. Yeah, the ore spears. Right here, Crusaders for Viking Voyager.
And also, they've got to stab these Kraken as well.
About 3 more octopi out of protest of the new Bricklink one coming soon.
Well done, man. I topped up on crocodiles the other day. Actually, I needed. I've got Rivermen mocks coming up again, so I've replenished and Islanders actually. So I've got a bunch more crocodiles because I was finding myself lacking, and I will leave it there for that. But yeah,
I like it, man. No, I think it's good. It's fun to see more boats in Castle. The Bulls are a vehicle-heavy faction, so this actually fits them quite well. So I appreciate that. All right, as a treat, guys, I'm going to throw this up right before we get off because I did find the image. So there it is. That's the wacky, weird, limited edition exclusive castle, whatever the heck. King's Castle, is this what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got like a weird ghost with yellow hands. All of the flags and shields are stickers. The stickers, even the Bull Knights over here. But if you look closely, you have like armor, red armor. Oh, there goes someone by. You hear that? Just drag racing out there. You have heads from like Knight's Kingdom 2. And those helmets are from Knight's Kingdom 2. That king's head right in the front is from Knight's Kingdom 2. The pearl gold armor, the red armor, the black armor, the printed armor out in the front here, all from Knight's Kingdom 2. So I don't have any idea what in the heck happened with this castle. What is interesting about it is it's actually built almost better than King Leo's castle in some regard, with burps and like these cool printed wall.
It's closer to Royal Knights.
It feels more like a classic castle, than some other castles we've gotten. So I did pick this up. It was at like Target. It was like random store. It's just sitting on the shelf and it was on clearance. And I just grabbed it. The box was kind of damaged. And I was like, why not? The wizard has like a magnifying glass and a snake. He's hiding up here. And his face is like one of the Viking leaders' faces from Lego Vikings. Like the whole thing is just like a extra parts pack, basically.
Yeah. Red crossbows as well.
Mm-hmm. Reddish brown crossbows. Wait, are those red? No, I want to say those are reddish brown.
Because I've got red quivers on my Fright Nights, but I always wanted a red bow, and it's Cupid is the only way you can get one.
I think those are the reddish brown ones, but
that's cool.
Did this
No,
see, and that's the other thing. Yeah. What did you say? Like 2006?
5 years later. Yeah, 2006.
5 years later. Whoops. This is my stuff is all going crazy over here. That's what's weird about it. This is way after. It's not even just like, we haven't done anything in Castle in a while. We're gonna just revisit King Leo kind of with his old faction and some bold guys. No, all these minifigs come out of Knight's Kingdom 2, and then they just slapped the old coat of arms with stickers over blank shields and blank blue like little flag pieces, and they just invented a new castle out of nowhere, and it was an exclusive limited edition set. It's such a weird one, and I don't really know what happened with it. This is
it's odd. It's odd.
This is also the set below in the dungeon. You can pull this centerpiece out and access the dungeon below this ramp. And there is a skeleton strapped to an actual torture rack under this set. So it's crazy. And there's like an armory and there's some axes and things like there's a torture chamber basically is what I'm saying in this set. So
it's really cool. There's a lot to it. Maybe we'll touch back on that another.
So I gotta pop out of here, guys. That was Lego Knights Kingdom. Yeah, see, look at the logo here, the Knights Kingdom logo. That's the Knights Kingdom 2 logo.
Yeah,
with the shield and everything on it. That is not this series at all. This is a completely different series. So it's bizarre. It's such a crazy printed panels. I know, dude. Space Grenade. Look at this.
Laura Martis, what a freak castle.
It is a freak castle. I'm happy I have it just for parts. You know, it comes with a dog. It's got some random animals. Like, it's a good parts pack for castle building. It's weird. You know, raised base plate's nice, printed raised base plate, whatever. But like, I don't know, man. Ghost is wild. Yeah, Josh. Yeah, it's nuts. He has normal sized pants. It's a different transparent. It's not the opaque. It's still glow in the dark, I think, but it's like this weird, like more see through.
It's a guy dressed up as a ghost in the
castle. I think it is actually. I think you're right.
Away. Yeah. Don't siege me. We're haunted.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's freakazoid, but it's cool.
Anyway, there it is. I figured we'd end it with a bang.
That's what
completely off the chain castle there, which literally doesn't fit in any faction or any theme at all.
No, it's just an outlier, but it kind of linked. So yeah.
Well, that's it, man. All right, Knights Kingdom. Thanks for joining. We had a decent amount of people, ton of comments. So thanks for all the input. Thanks for all the talk in the chat. Drop a like, follow, subscribe. I think we just hit like 740 subscribers. So I think we're right on that mark, moving up. So thank you for all the new people who joined the channel. Drop a comment and we'll see you guys next week. Well, actually, let me. I'm not 100% sure on next week, so we'll keep you posted on that one because I got some family stuff going on. But man, that was it. Knights Kingdom. There it is.
Knights Kingdom. Nice one, dude. See you later, everyone.
All right. Thanks again, Jim.
No worries, man. Anytime.